One of the things I love doing while traveling is checking out different spots and getting off the beaten path. If I can suggest one thing to those who travel, or maybe to those who don't and are going to, go off the path. You're gonna learn so much more about the place you're visiting. You meet some of the locals and just step off the tourist path. The tourists only see what they've built for you to see. Same as the tourism companies I've run in San Diego or Puerto Vallarta or Los Angeles. We show you what we want you to see, and we also show you what the highest demand is and what people have typed into the internet the most to see, because that's where the money is. But that's not necessarily what you really want to see. I've made my guests the most stoked I ever have by taking them on boat tours and going outside the regular path, maybe through the mooring fields, shutting the engine off and sailing through boats that people live on that are on what seem like anchors with their mooring balls attached to the ground down below the seafloor. Same thing in Puerto Vallarta. People love the boat tours, but I can tell you this much: when I walk them around Yalapa and show them a couple of the abandoned buildings, or take them up inside of the town and we get an actual walk or a motorcycle ride through the local zone, it's like 10 times better. There's a lot of wind over here, so I don't know if you can hear me on this video at all. But this is pretty cool, just like exploring this zone right here, and I just found something real neat. Check it out. I think that's a goat. Hey, it's a goat and a baby goat. What do you call a baby goat? There's a weird name for it. Kid. Kid, yes, it's a goat and a kid. Pretty sure. If that's incorrect, somebody throw in the comments, Kyle, you're a dumb kid. It's not called a kid. I don't know. But I'm over here on my motorcycle right now. My motorbike, as they call them here. Scooters are what they really are. Guys, if you're gonna get a motorcycle, by the way, get a motorcycle. Get a license, learn how to drive it, get some lessons. If you didn't grow up riding them. Are goats friendly? Do they bite you? I think they can. I'm not gonna go too close. This is cute. Look at these little guys. I don't want to mess with these guys. I don't know if I'm gonna piss them off or what goats act like over here. Also, I've noticed any animal that has children, you probably shouldn't get in between. In general. Rule of thumb. Don't mess with people's kids. Or goats. Pretty neat zone over here. I'm on the other side of the island, and I had to go up into the middle of the island here in the Mentawai. I give a little bit of information about where I am, but not 100%, especially being that I'm at an area where there is epic surf and it takes a long time to get here. And so try not to blow out everything and tell like every little secret of the trade, but also a lot of this is really cool stuff that most people would love to see. And there's a lot of tourists that would love to come out here and just scope the area. I guess I want tourists everywhere I go, kind of, but the word digital nomad is thrown around so much these days that, it's just me flat out. It's starting to piss me off. My cousin told me the other day, he's like, dude, you need to post more about like going and exploring things and like how you feel comfortable and able to go explore these areas. And I was like, well, why? He's like, dude, you're the OG digital nomad. And I was like, oh, thanks, man, I appreciate that. And he's like, no, for real, bro, you were a digital nomad before it was cool to be one. I'll never forget how I learned I was a digital nomad. I was sitting with a former love inside of a hostel in Puerto Rico, where I was living for the month, operating my company in San Diego from afar, sitting there on my laptop doing business work, and a couple of kids came up that had remote jobs, and they said, whoa, dude, you've done it. You're where we're going. I'm like, I'm where you're going. What do you mean I've done it? He's like, you've gone full. I'm like, gone full? What's that mean, kids? Like, what's going on? I say kids, they were probably in their early 20s. And I was like 30 at that time, maybe in my early 30s. And I thought it was pretty cool, the compliment they gave me. They basically said, you've gone full. Full digital nomad, they said. And I'm like, full digital nomad? Never heard the term in my life. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. Dude, do you mind if I ask what a digital nomad is? I had to. I didn't know what it was. I've never heard it. And he explained it to me that essentially it means that you operate your company completely independently, have no other boss other than yourself, no one to tell you when you have to work or when you have to get stuff done, but you're the complete controller of your own destiny, and you are able to move away from your business somewhere far away and have other staff or other people operating it. Now there's probably a million ways to do this, but their whole point was you're not bound by the constraints of being a remote worker or being having a project deadline or needing to adhere to somebody else's demands and their needs because you built your own business and you're completely in control, and yet you don't have to be there physically anymore. and your girl and you are here hanging out and working on a laptop, and you're about to go surf for income. Like, that is a digital nomad. It's exactly where we're all trying to be. And then he kind of explained the difference to me too, which I thought was really cool. See all these digital nomads posting from the United States of America in Arizona or in Nevada, in the middle of the damn desert, with a whole bunch of other people living out of their vans. Yo, boys, you are living in a van down by the river. You are not a digital nomad. Because you have a remote job and you have to be on a computer between 10 and 6 every day. That is not a digital nomad. Just because you live in a van and don't want to pay rent and have never left your state or your tri-state area, but you've got a cell phone in your pocket so you could work from anywhere if you wanted to. No, you're not a digital nomad. The biggest problem we have, in my opinion today, is that there is a dopamine rush when we figure something out and we know how to get something done. And a lot of people think, oh, I could start a business. Oh, I could have done that. I could have done this. Oh, I could have the life Kyle has. I could travel around and be in Indonesia shooting a video right now and making my own money online. And I could do that. I can. I know how. And you get a dopamine rush for knowing how. Then you go take a break and have a coffee. Yeah, Bacabar! California, bro! Love the locals here. I'm also the only American I've met in the last 2 weeks. All right, if you know people that are doing your same thing and you haven't left your area very far, you know, just take into note, guys. Like, if you're a digital nomad, you should be able to cut the ties where you need to and fly as far as you want to, literally. It trips me out that a lot of people will have that thought that they are going to complete something amazing and that they know how, and they get this dopamine rush. And I'm learning more about this. I've always studied psychology since becoming a school psychologist at the age of 22, far before starting my businesses. You know, there is really something to this dopamine factor that we get into, and we feel empowered and strong and like, we can do this. I know how to do it. I figured out the code on ChatGPT. The codex gave me the JSON script, the RSS feed, and everything else to build the site and application I'm about to launch. And then we get all dopey. I'm stoked. All right, time to go have a beer, a smoke, a cigarette, a walk, a break, call my family member. Do whatever you're gonna do. That's go for a bike ride and come back to it. We don't come back to it. Why don't we come back to it? We don't come back to it because we already got the dopamine rush, and that was the drug we were looking for, but it wasn't. The dopamine real rush and like the activity and movement of norepinephrine, serotonin, and dopamine in our main brain chemicals that fluctuate. You know, your NaCl2 pump, salt uptake re-inhibitor. Probably said that wrong, but it's been a while since I've been studying the exact brain chemistry of psychology. And the fact is, the chemicals you need in your brain are only going to be there if you keep reinforcing them to the level that they get you to where you want to be. Now, that dopamine's going to crash hard just like you did a drug. If you don't complete or go back to the task, and in fact, it might throw you into further deeper depression because you figured part of it out and then you didn't follow through on getting the next part done. That's on you, nobody else. So the kids are coming over. So look, explore, have fun. A Bacabar! Cool scooter. Electric! Yeah, kids and kids. So I'm exploring some abandoned buildings here and talking a little bit about what it's like to be a digital nomad. And a little bit about what pisses me off seeing people online now telling other people to live off the grid, don't pay rent, don't buy a house, don't have a job. Dude, you're not to be listened to. Like, when was the last time you showered, bro? And when was the last time you were on a plane going somewhere far away you've always dreamed of seeing while being able to work and manage your own lifestyle financially and physically and emotionally, mentally, psychologically? They're not, and they're just talking this game of being a digital nomad. And in actuality, they aren't always such. I'm not saying this to talk trash on those van dwellers who are living in a van down by the river, but they are. And if that's what you're doing, and you want to be a digital nomad, I'm saying this because you can, but you need to know what it is. Just being homeless isn't being a digital nomad. if that were the case, you could say every single every single homeless person who has a cell phone, which after the Obama phone program a few years ago in the United States, you can have a cell phone and you don't need to pay anything for it. The government will help you there. Why? Because it's been determined as one of the things that we need to have in our lives to keep going. Maybe this place is a school. That's kind of neat. Almost there's like a pickleball court in there. Ooh, pickleball in Indonesia? I don't know if that'll pick up our trend or not, but it's kind of neat. Just scoping the place out and walk around the other side. Super windy over there, so we'll see if my speaker picks up my feed still. My point is, you can be a digital nomad. You can be a digital nomad, but let's skip the term diginome. Diginome. You know, learning that I was kind of realizing from after my cousin said that, you know, I guess I have been a digital nomad a bit longer than most, and I've done it a different way. Because you're a remote worker and you have a job for some major corporation and that allows you to leave your country and work somewhere else, you're not the epitome of what people are looking to do. You just figured out one little advantageous quality that you could leave. That's not it, guys. You need to finish your work day and not go out and party that night and work on building your own business and creating your own brand, or finding another way that you can capitalize on the system that we have nowadays, artificial intelligence, everything else that we have to build the life we want. But if you're working for somebody else just because you have a remote job and you moved out of the country and you figured a way to not have to live where you grew up, you just traveled. You're not a digital nomad in the way that people think of it as. So let's call digital nomad a different word, just full freedom seeker or full freedom achievement. That's what I think of it as. I want to be able to do what I want. And I never got the lifestyle that I have because I became this digital nomad thing that's trending online. I had a dream a long time ago of working from a sailboat and not having to be anywhere in particular. This always makes me so sad right here. But you know, it's just part of our world. Most people don't know what it is. These are dead corals. It's all used to be gorgeous in different colors, greens, purples, blues, pinks, yellows. You can be the manifester of your own destiny. There's certain skills you have to do, you've got to employ to get there. My dream was to work from a sailboat, be able to sail around the world anywhere I want, and just work that way. Okay, that's why I wrote a novel. I learned how to write at a very young age, won writing contests in my elementary school. I won my entire district. I also won the contest to give the 6th grade speech. My sister also won hers. Nature versus nurture, is it in our DNA? A little bit, but not necessarily so much, as my mom was really big on vocabulary and learning language, in particular the English language, and learning how, she also helped me learn Spanish, you know? I wanted to learn it at 10. She threw me right into it. And that really helped me a lot, but I learned how to write. That was my way. I'm gonna write books from boats. That was, Ernest Hemingway spent a lot of his time living in Cuba. There's an OG digital nomad right there. Living in Cuba while writing his books, which became some of the most famous literature of the century. But guess what? He didn't need anything digital to do it. So, are you a gypsy who's homeless and living out of a van down by the river? Or are you somebody who is seeking full freedom in your own manner of finding it and getting peace through your own efforts and finding fruition, dopamine, norepinephrine, serotonin, circling and moving in your brain in a way that pushes you forward every day? Because it's not going to be easy. You're not going to wake up and just do what you want and have it like super cake. Right now I just had to ride a motorcycle 2 hours to a different place to buy a charger so I can charge my laptop and keep doing the work I'm doing. Digital element there, but hey, I'm over here getting it done, and that's something I had to do today. I want to jump in the water and surf, but hey, it's windy anyways. So look at the positives. I get to have this opportunity, say hi to these little kiddos. Where'd the goats go? I was gonna say, see the goats? Oh, they're on the other side now. And you make you. You have to figure that out for you. Build your own dream. Don't try to live someone else's. I guess that's my main point. And don't think you're a digital nomad who hasn't succeeded in anything while you promote to other people they should do the same. Go take a shower. Invest in something and make something work for you. Other than hoping your van starts in the morning. What do I say? I don't know, I wanted to be a writer, so I always had a dream of having a sailboat, being able to sail far away. I turned that into a sailboat company because that's how I could figure out how to own a sailboat and have pay for the cost of something really expensive that I couldn't afford. But there's a way to find everything you want. The fact is, you gotta go find it. For now, I'm gonna go find some more exploratory action here. I gotta go buy some candy so I can give it away to the kids. What's up, dudes? All right, I'm gonna cruise around a little bit. Hey, Buckabout! Locals going away in the police truck there. Fishing boat here. Might get a little shot of the fishing boat actually. These boats are really cool. Mostly made out of wood. Pretty cool traditional design. I'm gonna go walk around a little more and explore what I built my life to have the capability to do. And wear cool Mario pants while Luigi's surfing. Catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Stay free.